Are you going to go live
Yeah,
first?
we are. No, we're completely live already. We're completely live already. So I've jumped you straight in so we can get straight back in there. Otherwise, I'm fiddling
Okay.
around with this thing. Anyway, right. Good afternoon. Good evening to you. We're 13 minutes past 7 out here in good old sunny Spain. And we're about 13 minutes past 6 if you're in the UK. And anywhere else in the world, whatever your time zone is. Good afternoon. Good evening to you. And welcome to Cafe Clairvoyance. And this is Pop Ups. Pop-ups, I hear you say. What are pop-ups? Well, pop-ups is a new thing we're just introducing to the show, just to make it interesting. That every now and then we're going to just drop in, give you a little bit of notice, and if you're available, you could just come in and watch a show, which is a little mini show. Let's say a mini one. We'll talk about what's going on in the climate and what's going on out there. Any questions you guys have got as just general questions, and not readings as much. We save those for the large shows, but just say hello to you guys. So hello, Helen. Good evening. Yeah, she says you're back now, and Eleni says hi, everyone. And I think other people are coming online as well now. So loads going on out there. Loads going on out there. All feeling a bit funny. And what would be if you were describing one of the symptoms that we're going through? How would one of your symptoms be? Your experiences, personally, perhaps, as what you're going through.
Me? I wasn't sure if you were asking the audience or me then.
Yeah,
I'm okay. I'm cool as a cucumber.
good, good.
Um,
What do your clients say? What are their clients? What is their vibe at the moment? Do you think?
yeah, I've got a few people who are very emotional. Feeling overwhelmed is a big one. Feeling like they can't uh, stop overthinking things. But what
Yeah.
I've noticed with some of my clients and what I've said to them is if they already had things pre existing,
Yes.
the Mercury retrograde, it's just going to heighten it. So
Yes.
they've got to realize that, breathe through it, stay calm,
Yes.
and try and be aware of that because sometimes knowing that can set your mind at ease a little bit.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now that's interesting you're
But
saying that. Yes, that's what the
yeah,
Mercury does. It goes through a sign, it turns round, and it comes back the other way. And everything you've just been through recently is like, why am I going back over old
yeah.
ground? Why am I doing
And
this? Yeah.
yeah, it's the Geminis and the Capricorns that are feeling it, some of them. So
Capricorn.
yeah,
Yes, I know some Geminis who are going through this. Woo!
yeah,
This wobble, and trying to make decisions on where their life is going, and it's very difficult. And well, I didn't say it's difficult. I think you've got to follow a pathway, your instinct within your heart. But the actual signs where you're going to, the reactions, the way you want things to work out, are not there yet. But your ideas of where you're going is going the right way. That's all going the right way. And everybody's saying
yeah.
hello to us. It's very nice of everybody to say hello. Yes. Uh, Sarah Katrina says, hi, Taz. Hi, Taz.
Ah, hello.
Bless your cotton socks out there. Or bless everybody's cotton socks. Yes. And yeah, and also here, the solar eclipses, when we get eclipses, one of the things they can make us feel is very tired. Get a feeling
Yeah,
of exhaustion, feel like, oh, everything is coming up in the open. Now, this is interesting, though, and this is something I really tuned in today, and I got this. And guys, tell me if you're sensing this, knowing this, getting a vibration this is. And that is Mercury going retrograde, the eclipse just coming into Cancer, very much about people who have been behind your back, who may have been either throwing things at your back, stabbing your back, or talking behind your back, but put it in more nicer words that way. These people will suddenly find here that they're not behind your back. They actually they've been brought out in front of you to their discomfort because they can't
yes,
carry on behind your back. So sometimes this that lovely saying here. We shouldn't throw stones from glass houses. I think it's a
yes.
saying that something, yeah. And because
Don't throw stones from glass. Yeah,
yeah, don't throw stones glass houses because Mercury retrograde will come back and make this feel a little bit uncomfortable. And the lunar eclipse in Cancer is an interesting side. Yes, it's about family. Yes, about mothers. It's about a lot to do with some relationships. Very much about home, but it also brings up about things we don't like. We don't like it
Yeah.
because sometimes make people feel comfortable. So sometimes we're saying things to people, and then sometimes we're saying, I don't normally say that in front of people, but I did. And maybe you're clearing the air, maybe,
I
but you
mean,
just got to be
yeah,
a little bit careful.
I call it karma a little bit as well.
Yeah, it could be a bit
I
calmer and a bit more
Yeah,
calmer.
well, I mean, funnily enough, you say that, but I mean, mine started early. I think sometimes effects impact people just before sometimes.
Okay.
And yeah, that exact situation you said, someone has been kind of shone a light on, but I knew it anyway. My intuition told me a while ago, so I just let it go over my head anyway. So it's
Yes, sometimes that's a good thing to do because it is about letting it go over your head here. But yes, it's sometimes we get the feeling, this is what's been going on. We don't need to get paranoid about this, not one little bit, because the good thing
no,
the eclipse is on your side when you're working with
exactly.
this here. It just brings things out to the open, and those people who talk behind
Wash
your
them
back,
away.
then you would just release them, let them go, release let them
Yeah.
go here. There's no need for big wars. On a global scale, we have got a few more demonstrations and protests and all this sort of stuff, unfortunately, coming up because Mars is going to come out and come away from Neptune. Is going to go into Aries, and it's interesting what Guillermo was saying on Wednesday that Mars is not going to be the same Mars as it used to be, which normally it's fired up. This one's going to be a bit provoking from within. So sometimes we've got a lot of emotions to come out to it. It's interesting what we're seeing on the borders with two particular countries at the moment. On their world stage playing out into bits, everything get a bit fused, a little bit like that. But no, never mind. These little things happen. But very much the time is working on this particular alignment here. Now, interesting here regarding people getting over things, Taz. There are kind of people moving on, dealing with their stuff at the moment. How are people doing for you?
They're doing okay. I mean, I have some regular ladies, and it's all about aiding yourself. I mean, there are a couple that are struggling. I've had some messages, but I work all the time, not just with Mercury. Obviously, I do my healing meditations. I work with energy
Okay.
and emotions. So my job is to keep them aligned as much as I can, keep them calm, make it logical because
Okay.
I think it's very quick, isn't it, to make Mercury always doom and gloom and a negative thing. And you've probably noticed this. A lot of people only post negative things about Mercury retrogrades, and I actually don't like it. I'm complete opposite. Whenever I write a post about a retrograde, it will always end on a very positive note for me because I think it's how you choose to allow the energies to affect you. You've just got to see it for what it is, what's meant to come up in front of you. There's always a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fight it.
Mm-hmm.
So look after your self-care, meditate, go for walks, speak to yourself. And I know that sounds funny, but
No, it doesn't. That's
I will
brilliant.
go for a walk and I will go, right, okay, I am feeling like this. I'm aware I'm feeling like this, but perhaps this is a little bit intensified at the moment. So I'm just going to breathe through this. I'm going to journal and see how I feel in a few weeks. And that's exactly what I say to myself, not just my clients.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing to say, and I often do that when I take the dog for a walk. He thinks I'm completely mad because I'm quite happy talking to myself, just reasoning through things and talking through things. And I come back,
Me
and
too.
I even think my dog is a psychologist because he comes in and says, "You all right now, Dad?" Yeah, I'm fine, thank you, thank you. Are you sure you're okay? Do you want to sit down? Yeah, I'll sit down just a minute. Thank you. Cheers, Batchy. So yeah, he sorts me out. So I think that's about right. But yes, it's nice to go out, be in the countryside and be a place where you can really notice the fresh air and just really focus on the moment in time that you're doing something like this because it does work. And sometimes we get too much in our heads overthinking. Now, one of the things here, we've got a few people wanting to come through with their comments. Now, guys, how are you out there? How are you feeling? What thoughts are coming up to your mind when we start talking about the eclipses, Mercury retrograde, and the energies going in their own little directions here. How are you feeling? How are you dealing with this? What's your secret? What's your secret antidote to this, or your secret pathway through this? What's your magic to help you through this time? Or are you just feeling that this is overwhelming? But just to give you some good stuff here on this, when Mercury goes retrograde, it does not mean that everything's going to go wrong.
Exactly.
No, because often here when Mercury goes retrograde, what it's actually going to do is realign with planets or activity which has been very positive. And one of them was Uranus. Uranus, which is over in Taurus, and it's there moving slowly through Taurus. And what it's doing there is it's bringing change to security. It's bringing change to times around us. For instance, those of you who are gardeners probably love this particular time because gardens are just flourishing with colour now. And people may want to get more back into their gardens, more back into nature, more back into doing something which is nice. More back into is interesting. Mercury go to revisit your diet. I've got to change, but we didn't when it's going direct. But now it comes backwards, we start going, oh, hang on a minute, I can do this now. I can do this now. So suddenly we start to feel more vibrant, more positive, and we can do this. Sorry, you're going to say. Yes,
yeah, no,
so you want to jump in there.
I wanted to say, I don't know if you find this, Phil, but this is what I'm feeling this time around. I'm finding my intuition is answering my past.
Okay.
It's clearing it for me. It's answering. I've got the answers and I know.
Okay.
And not through anyone else telling me it. It's just channeling to me. It's coming to me, and I'm very clear on it, and I'm fine with it, and I'm journaling it. And I think what you were just saying about just letting it go, it's also writing these ideas down and not coming back to them till after the retrograde.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah. And I think when we know we've got control of the situation with our emotions, we're winning.
Yeah.
I mean, I chuckle all the time because I see people, who say to me, they laugh at me with my Mercury retrogrades and my woo-woo, as they say. And but then they're affected so badly by them. And I laugh every time because I just say, well, you know what time it is?
Yes.
It's so funny.
Yes, it is. And people can boo-hoo it, but then they all go through something which we're almost saying. Yes. Jay Jones says, it's not a good time to make decisions. I've been feeling clearer and stronger. So, okay, or may not be a good time to make decisions. Now, that...
It's reflection.
It's reflection.
Time.
Yes.
We're in the waning crescent as well.
Yes.
Sorry, Phil.
No,
I was just going to say...
on. You get your little moons out there. You get your little moons out of the way. I know you love your moons.
Oh, I love my moons. So I was saying to my lunar living ladies, basically we're in the waning crescent, and basically it's all about you being aware of reflection.
Yeah.
So it's a really good time. That's why I've advised them to write things down, allow these things to come up, but just write them down, just breathe through them, because now is not the time to deal with them. It's the time to reflect. It's the time to receive. It's the time to journal it, process it, but really keep an eye on your emotions.
Isn't it interesting you said the word receive? Because maybe this isn't about receiving bad news. This is good news. And news that... Yes, and sometimes we miss a passing opportunity. Then Mercury goes retrograde back over that opportunity and says, here it is again. So we do get little offerings here.
Because it's the star as well. The star. Yes. Sorry, I was just scrolling, looking at a comment because I'm multitasking. I'm on my phone and on the
no problem.
on the Mac to try and read people's comments. But it's definitely a time for abundance, for passion. So there's some really positive things around this. And that's what I choose, and what I advise other people to do is you choose how you want to look through that glass.
Yeah.
I choose to look at that. I choose to look positively through that lens.
Yeah.
That is where I'm going. And that's why I tell my subconscious listens, and that's it.
That's all you need to do. Wonderful. So a little hoot to this lovely conversation. And a big round of applause to you all out there for joining us. Got to have these buttons, so I don't know what I'd do without these. And here's a little bit of stress going away. Gone. See? Disappeared. disappeared. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So even if you were thinking, this is interesting. People often Mercury retrogrades often can start businesses. A lot of people think, no, you don't want to start a business retrograde. Actually, you can, because especially if it's a job you've done before.
Yes. And it's also something, I'm just moving you, Phil. I'm trying to be
I
clever
feel
now.
like I'm being moved. I feel so moved. Yes, that's okay. Yes.
It's also, I think, about, again, how you look at it positively. And if you've already been bringing this in, if you're a bit like me with moons and you've been setting your intentions, then this has been in your process for a long time. Like you say,
Yes.
nothing to worry about.
No, it's actually this particular eclipse is coming up in Cancer, very early days of Cancer, and as soon as you get, often when you get planets in the very start of a sign or the very end, it's often quite strong here. Mercury's retrograde. It's getting us to look backwards. It's not about stuff which is coming on forwards just at the minute. But a lot of people are actually finding this energy we're going through, although looks challenging, can be very, very beneficial. So spread some light here, folks. You may find a little bit of stress here and there, but there's a lot of good stuff here as well. A lot of good stuff. So let us know, guys out there. We're on here for a few minutes just to chat away with you, just do this little pop up here. If you've got any questions, if you've got any experiences you're going through, you just want us to talk about, then by all means, chirp in, say hello. Yes. And okay, so also what I'd like to talk about here as well, because you're coming on again. You're coming again on Tuesday, the 30th of June, which is, that's not far away. That's about 12 days away. 12 days away. So it's not next Tuesday, it's the following Tuesday. And there you're going to be talking about back flower. Is it, how do you pronounce that? Is it batch or back?
Back flower.
Back flower remedies. Now I've seen bits of this and I thought it was really interesting, but I'm sure by what you're going to do here, going to make it super interesting, and we have a great show there. And we're also going to do some emotional guidance as well. And it's interesting when we talk about emotions because Mercury is completely unemotional. It just goes, yeah, whatever. Unfortunately, it's a bit like if something happens, yeah, stuff happens, you just move on. That's it. Mercury's not emotional, doesn't not bother about that. Venus is.
Cancer as well, isn't it?
Yes, it's Cancer. So sometimes stuff that happens at home, sometimes things happen, but the emotion is not necessarily an intense thing. The moon is, which is the eclipse, that can bring stuff out. But understanding where we're going, understand what we've got to do. I have some in my cupboard. Now, Sarah, Katrina, what have you got in your cupboard?
I think they're talking about the back flower. Really.
Oh, back flowers, right. Oh, thank goodness for that. I was wondering what else you got there. You got the moon there. Interesting. Okay.
What I wanted to say was just a tip for anyone who is feeling a bit overwhelmed at the moment. Maybe channel into the fact that it's the waning crescent as well, and just write down these words: reflection, rest, rehabilitation, self-care, and just take this phase as getting ready for renewal. And that really fits in nicely with the Mercury retrograde, because like we said, some of this is positive, so things are going to come up, but just get ready for renewal. Get ready to receive this all, so that when you come into the new moon, you're going to feel really refreshed.
Yes.
And I want to say to them to maybe ask themselves, to look back and just reflect and just be really, really calm.
Very good point. Very good point. Because every time we come up to, although this is an eclipse, it's a new moon eclipse. A new moon eclipse here. A lot of them we get with the new moon.
Amazing one with the solstice as well.
Yes, it is. It's very strong. Very, very strong.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and what this is, what new moons tend to highlight is new beginnings. However, when the moon is dark because the Earth is in alignment with the sun. You can't see it. When there's a new moon, it's often thoughts start changing about new beginnings and making new beginnings. Mercury here helps us to clear the past, and then you'll find as you start going on through July and onwards, the energy really lifts. Really.
And then the waning gibbous, that's when you really take off afterwards. So
yes,
exciting. I'm actually really excited about this new moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got a workshop on the Sunday, the 21st. I'm doing a workshop then. So, yeah, it's going to be good.
Fantastic. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Yes. So what? Tell us a bit about, are there more places on this workshop available?
Oh yeah, there's still spaces. We've got a lovely group of ladies. A lot of them are in the Lunar Living membership, which means they get free access to the moon workshops and to the meditation classes. So you'll, if you've come to either of those before, you will know they're just a very warm, loving bunch of people.
Lovely. Lovely.
It's just about self-care, healing, and understanding your emotions with the energies. And it's that clear, really.
If you can understand emotions, and we can use astrology to do this, then you've definitely got a pathway through life. And shows like this, we try to help to guide people through emotions and understand what they all are. Emotions tend to have no guidance whatsoever. It's almost like a balloon you just let go of, a kiddie's balloon. It goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Phil, yeah, but I mean, Phil, we were having a conversation, weren't we? Just having a chat, catch up. And for people who are, think, oh, well, does it really work? I mean, Phil was saying he found a video of me from 2 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Having a chat?
Oh, a bit longer than that.
Yeah,
About
but I'm a
4 years
completely
ago.
different person.
Yes,
In
completely.
every way, shape, and form, aren't I?
I think by the way you're experiencing, what you're feeling, and interesting watching your pathway was the determination to keep going, even though everything was against you. It was that lovely Piscean, and sometimes people misunderstand Pisces altogether. But one of the things that Pisces do, where it's good in your charts, astrology charts, is the ability to go for the long game.
Oh yeah.
Its ability to go, because what the Pisces does here, you get the Aries who want to attack and everything's over now, but the Pisces will just keep going and going and going and going, and eventually Aries runs out. I'll give in.
Yeah.
I'm going home. But I'm just saying two analogy to particular signs there. But you'll find that the Pisces people, they will put up with and they will keep going until eventually they come out shiny. And there's that feeling of the two fishes. One's been going through hardship, but eventually it comes out to good luck and harmony. And I think this particular phase of going through, very much about the water element of Cancer. The water element here, very much to do with mother, very much to do with home, very much to do with how we feel about ourselves. And it's letting go of a lot of negative energy and seeing negative people who have been there, and you let them go. Let it all go.
I think this is a time, I have to say for myself, and I know I've said this to you privately, I'm just like, I'm letting go of a lot of things and I've got no fear over it at all. I'm just going, yeah, no, done. Yeah, no, done. I see it as a really positive time.
Yes. If we could do that, folks, we're on a positive level. And if we're all in it together, then we'll help out each other, don't we? How's that? Sound nice? Cozy? Good. Good. Okay. Just let you know, I'm running 2 courses. One starts on the 4th of July, which is a Saturday morning. That's on mediumship. If anyone's interested in that. And then on Monday night, which is the 6th of July, I'm doing a course on colour therapy. The colour is the energy and the colour that we all understand and know. We all experience colour and what it can do to change your life. So, yes, lots going on her side and lots going on my side. So there you go. We should have a great fun time. Yes. Yeah, I'm sure we'll pop in and out of each other's classes very soon as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, the colour therapy one is going to be fabulous. I know that for definite, and I know the other one will be as well. But the colour therapy, of course, because I use colours in my chakras in my classes, and I know how powerful. So I know that's a wonderful course. I know that's going to be amazing. So
there's 3 levels to this, so let you know just how intense, how much there is to learn about colours and to use and adapt and change your life with colour to something which is good. Lovely. Yeah. It's been absolutely wonderful catching up with you. Just having a little midweek chat about what's going on up there, and we'll catch up with you in about 12 days' time, and which will be on Tuesday, the 30th of June, right at the end of June. And by that time, Venus would have turned around and gone direct. So a bit more love is coming back in. Very nice. Yeah. Well, have a lovely evening.
Yes, have a lovely evening. I'm off to cook fajitas.
Cook fajitas?
Fajitas.
We'll be around.
Yeah.
No, I've already had a curry. Yum, yum.
Oh,
Cooked
nice.
by the producer. But for myself and the producer, Phil and Taryn, good night to you all. Have a lovely, lovely evening. And see you very soon for another pop-up or another show. Who knows? But if not, see you on Sunday. Take care. Taryn, have a lovely evening. Cheerio.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.